Unit 2, page 27. Listening 2.
That's a hard one. You know, I tend to get along well with everyone in my family, so it's difficult to pick just one. I guess I get along well with my two brothers, and I look up to them, but the one who I look up to most is my older sister. We grew up like two peas in a pod. She always looked after me when I was a child and helped bring me up. When Mom and Dad weren't around, she'd always do the important things for me. Cook dinner or lunch, help me with my homework. She's my best friend.
I grew up in a small cottage in Suffolk in the 1940s. It was quite a quiet area, right next to a farm and a small red windmill. While my parents worked on the farm during the day, I'd play games of hide and seek with my friends in the farmers' fields. There were many hiding places, especially in the summer, because the crops were so high. Sometimes we'd venture into the woods and play there, but I always had to be back before 7 o'clock or my mother would scold me.
Well, this one time we went to a theme park in the north of England. While we were there, we visited the park zoo, which of course had many animals. We all put some money into the machine and got a packet of food with which we could feed the animals. Anyway, my Uncle Dan, a brave army veteran of about 6'4", entered the goat pen with his packet of food. Well, you can imagine what happened next. The goats spotted the food, and sure enough, Uncle Dan was surrounded. I mean, totally surrounded by about 40 goats. They were jumping up on him, trying to take the food from his hands. What we didn't know at the time was that Uncle Dan actually had a phobia of some farmyard animals. So what do you think happened? Well, my poor Uncle Dan started to scream like a little child until the zookeepers came to rescue him. It was the most hilarious thing ever!
I don't know her that well. I've only met her a few times, in fact. Part of the problem is that she lives so far away, in Australia, so I never have the opportunity to see her. She looks a bit like my mum, which is natural, I suppose, because they're siblings. Even though they grew up together, they're complete opposites. My mum is more stern and serious like her father, whereas Kate is much more mellow like her mother. Even though they were brought up to be friendly, polite people, I don't think they got along that well as kids. Everything's okay now, though, and Mum flies out regularly to visit her when she has the time.
There are 3 essential ingredients: rules, roles, and rituals. Rules. We should always be clear about what we want and expect from a relationship, and others should inform us of what they want and expect too. You need to create and respect clear rules. Roles. We need to establish roles. I'll cook and manage the business, while you clean and work at the office. Rituals. Rituals are the glue that bonds relationships together. Always remember to kiss your partner goodbye, give them a call from the office once in a while, or buy them flowers, even if it isn't a special occasion. Never forget the 3 R's: rules, roles, and rituals.